Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Watchhorn Range. Today is kind of special for me. I've been working on this build for about a year and a half, trying to find all the parts that I wanted for my 6mm ARC build. Now, 6mm ARC is screaming fast, obviously in the AR-15 platform. And I want to be able to shoot 1,000 yards. 223 isn't going to get me there and still drop a coyote. ARC will. So I finally got it built. Now, why I used the specific parts I wanted is because of the companies. So, Sons of Liberty, I'm shameless. I don't care. Some people don't like them. I do. Mike has talked to me several times and given me advice on builds on the old face space, and they stand behind their products 100%. You don't like the way it looks, they'll warranty it. That's solid. Forward controls design, same thing. Got the ducky, gotta have it. Roger stands behind everything 100%. My barrel is a Rainier Arms Mod 2 Ultra Match in 18 inches. 18 inch because that's what 6ARC was initially designed off of. Rainier because John does the same thing. If you don't like the way it smells, he's gonna swap it out for you. So they stand behind their products unconditionally. I'm not a gunfighter, so I don't need a knight's armament. I hope to get one someday anyway, but this is going to be my new coyote gun and maybe competition gun someday. Up top is a Vortex Viper 6x24x50 because my eyesight sucks bad. But now that I have everything built, it's time to zero it. And I'm going to show you how I zero. Pretty simple, really. Find ammo for whatever caliber you're zeroing. Mags. Then we'll go down and take a look at my target, and I'm going to show you how I do that. I always start out by bore sighting it. Basically setting the upper on a table without the carrier in it 20-25 yards away, or as far as I can away in my house. Line up the barrel on a doorknob. Now you're looking through it, sitting on a table, you got it on your doorknob, adjust the scope over to it. That gives you a rough start. I didn't do that with this one. I just want to shoot because I've waited so long for this gun. So on my manhole, I've got a pink dot painted at the top, bottom, left, right, and center. So I start out, I aim at the center. If I don't hit, I'll move to the top, bottom, left, then right to help figure out and track it in from there. It's an easy way to do it. It's a lot better than just continuously shooting at center mass and trying to figure out where you're missing. So that's what we're going to do right now. So as I'm loading this mag, I'm using the Hornady match because I have more of it. It's 108 grain ELD match. And every box of ammo you buy, whether you're a hunter or a sport shooter, it always says muzzle velocity on it. And you got 2750 is what it's showing. But this is one thing that irritates me about ammo manufacturers. They don't tell you what barrel length that is. So many times they are using a 24-inch barrel to achieve their muzzle velocities. Because the longer the barrel, more time you have to build up velocity in accordance with how much powder there is in it, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, don't just assume that the muzzle velocity and the bullet drop that it's showing on the box matches your specific firearm, because 9 times out of 10 it does not. So, got one of these mags loaded up. I better put this fancy from work hearing protection in because I forgot mine at home, of course. So, going to take a quick break to get these in. Let our smoking hot camera lady and editor get her hearing protection on as well. Alright, I am going to start out aiming center mass on my manhole. Here we go. Okay. Something just flew out of the sky and hit me. Let's go take a look at my manhole, see where we hit, and we can make some quick adjustments from there. So this actually turned out really well. I was aiming right at this pink dot. Center mass, hit right here. So the easy way to do this is to set my scope right here while it's in the lead sled, and then walk it over to where it's straight above our impact spot, and then we'll switch to paper. That way we can paper tune it for 25. Then we are going to move back to 100 yards and see what kind of groups we get out of it. Back on the center of that dot. Now we are going to... One thing that annoys me is you're moving the bullet to the crosshairs, but the crosshairs are what's moving. So I don't know why they couldn't just call it what it is. So by moving right, you're actually pushing the crosshairs left. It's nonsense, but the way it is. So back where my original aim was. And now, after all that, I'm right above the impact point, but I'm still 1.5 inches, 2 inches high. And I'm leaving it high, that way when we move back to 100, we're not... You're trying to make lines intersect, and you don't want to have to just keep changing it. I'm not good at explaining this, I know. Don't judge me. One more shot from right here to make sure that we are close to where we want to be. Alright, aiming again, dead center on the pink dot in the middle. Well, let's go take a look. Again, aiming right in the center. Basically, I'm aiming at this previous bullet hole. So we're about 2 inches high and 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch left. Or right, sorry. I will adjust for that quick, and we're going to move back to 100 yards after we slap a shoot and see target right up here. Follow me. Everything is moved back to our 100-yard bench. We've got a wicked northwest wind coming in, so stuff might be a little bit inconsistent. Lovely camera lady, if you will zoom in as far as you can on our shoot and see target down there at 100 yards. Got a lot of heat coming off the range today. Whew, okay. Center mass of the shoot and see. Here we go. I don't know how well you can see, but through the scope, it looks like I am about 3 inches low and a little bit right. So we'll move her back to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks. And let's bring it up 1, 2, 3, 4 is supposed to be an inch. Oh, good thing I looked. So most scopes are quarter MOA clicks. This meaning a quarter inch per click at 100. This one is one click is half an inch at 100 yards. So this should put us about an inch low after those 4 clicks. Here we go. Okay, well, I am at the top of the diamond that I've been aiming at. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it 1 click and see if that brings her down a little. Huh, that brought it down about an inch and a half. So maybe we'll just send a couple more. I guess I should have read the fine print on these mags because they only hold 4 rounds. So I'm guessing there's a limiter in there I'm going to have to take out. Good times. Okay. Aiming back at the same spot. And we're going to go ahead and send another one. One more just for fun. There might be another one in here. Just as well. Oh, gee, there's still another one. Let's run down and take a look at that so you can see from right here through the scope, getting a lot of mirage from the heat coming up. So it's waving quite a bit, as well as it's 100 freaking degrees, so the gun's extra hot. And we have that northwest wind blowing across at about 15 miles an hour. So we're not going to have the most consistency out of my range here today, out of any gun. Let's run down and take a look. Come on in, come take a look. This was the first shot I sent. Then I adjusted the 4 clicks, ended up right here. And then adjusted again, and this is what we came up with. So we're right about where we want to be, but the grouping is a little inconsistent for what I'm wanting. So we're going to go back. We're going to load up 4 more rounds, and we will pick one of the corners to aim at just to get a baseline of whether it's what kind of accuracy we can really expect instead of calling while we're adjusting our 0. So probably should have done that instead of, adjusting as I went. Can't do everything, right? Wouldn't be any fun in that. So let's go shoot another group. Since I am a complete potato and forgot to show you what 6 arc looks like, this is a 55 grain Hornady VMAX bullet for 223, 556, whatever you want to call it, 223. This is 6mm arc in a 108 grain Hornady ELDX. So you can see it is a much longer bullet, getting a lot more oomph going behind it. let's go ahead and shoot this next group and see how it goes. I also switched magazines from the first one I was using to see if maybe that has something to do with it, because we know magazines affect accuracy. And I am going to aim at the top right diamond. So much heat wash. Okay, here we go. I jerked that one. That was my fault. That one's about 2 inches low. That one felt good. Back on it for one more. And the fourth round just to finish up the mag. If I can get back on it. Alright. There's the last 4 rounds. Let's go check them out so you can see what I'm talking about. So right here was my point of aim. We got about 2 MOA right there, which out of a brand new barrel isn't unusual. Most manufacturers have what they call a break-in period, where you're supposed to follow a certain procedure to shoot clean, blah, 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 to follow it. I didn't check on Rainier's website if they had one, but I expect the accuracy to tighten up quite a bit the more rounds I put through it, as it builds up a little copper fouling, tightens everything up nice. So I'm going to call that an inch low for my point of aim. Part of this could be the wind or the mirage through the scope, or it could just be me sucking. You never know. So we're going to call that good for today. Inch high at 100 is a good 0. That's what I do with most of my hunting rifles. That's it for this time. We'll see you later.